Hello everybody and welcome to a new manga video. As you can see, I've picked up a couple of new volumes. I got up to date with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I got up to date with Vinland Saga, and I bought the new Kodansha edition of Battle Angel Alita, which is alongside one of the older Viz editions there. So let's start with JoJo's, and I'll give you a bit of a perspective on where the series is at in terms of its English language publication. We have part 1, which is Phantom Blood, that's 3 volumes in length. Part 2, Battle Tendency, which is 4 volumes in length. And then we have part 3, Stardust Crusaders, which so far is 5 volumes in length. And I think we're about halfway through, so part 3 is going to be a lot longer than part 2 or part 1. And I'm not sure if Viz are actually going to go beyond part 3. I know it would be a big commitment because I think there's something like 9 or 10 parts in Japan, maybe even more. So to release all those, it will take years on their schedule. But you know, it would be really nice to own them one day, own them all. That would be a collection and a half. But these books are really well put together. They include colour artwork. They're a bit bigger than your traditional manga volume. So yeah, I'm really pleased I've got these. And now I think is a really good time to buy Alita. Not Alita, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Now is a really good time to buy JoJo's because part 1 and 2 are complete and then we're halfway through part 3. So that's a lot of manga to get through. Which brings me on to Vinland Saga, which is at book number 9. And like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, these are 2-in-1s. So you get 2 of these, you know, more traditional single paperback volumes in one big chunky hardback volume. I'm not going to show inside because this is quite late on in the series. This is up to book number 18 and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but in Japan the Vinland Saga manga is up to volume 20, so we're almost caught up. So like JoJo's, now's a good time to buy Vinland Saga. There's a lot of manga to get through and it's a really great series. And finally, we have Battle Angel Alita, which I really do adore. And the first thing you will see is how giant the new Kodansha edition is, especially compared to these smaller Viz editions. I think this is actually the 3rd edition Viz released. Originally, they released Alita in comic book format. Then it was in graphic novel format, so it was left to right with flipped artwork. Then they released it in the more traditional manga book, which is closer to the Japanese with the original orientation of the artwork from right to left. And these were from 2004, I think, this edition was released. And then it went away for a while. And it was out of print for about a decade, maybe even a bit more. But now Kodansha have finally brought it back. The original Alita series, they also released the 2 sequels, Last Order and Mars Chronicles. But yep, this is a huge volume. I thought when I saw it online, maybe it would be more akin to, you know, the size of JoJo's or the Monster Perfect editions, if you've seen those. But actually, it's more akin to the Kodansha Akira volumes, if you own those. And what I really love about this, alongside the size, which means that the artwork, you know, is bigger format, it's a lot more crisp, and you can see a lot more of the detail. Is also the fact that it has glossy pages, so already everything's looking a lot more crisp and just a lot more nice. And also another great thing is that it has a new translation when compared to the Viz release. It looks like they've taken it from the original Japanese and completely redone it. They've translated it again and it's supposed to be closer to the original. I have no issues with the translation in the Viz release, I should say. But, you know, anything that's closer to the original artist's interpretation is good in my books. So I'm really glad to see that they've redone the translation, even though I didn't think there was anything wrong with the original Viz editions. So yeah, this is a really great new book that Kodansha have put together. 2-in-1s, like I mentioned. I think I could probably find it. I really should mark out these points so I can show them, rather than having to flick through and waste your time. I think that was it there. Yep, here's where book number 2 begins. So these are nice 2-in-1s. The release frequency at the moment is quite slow. I think the next volume's due out in next month or maybe the month after, which I'm very surprised about because the film adaptation's out soon, in July. The Hollywood movie, which I'm hoping will bring a lot of new readers to the manga. So I thought that they might push out a lot of these, well, as many as they can, in anticipation for, you know, new readers coming from the film. But, you know, I guess at least they're going to have 4 volumes out. So if people watch the film and like the manga, they can pick up those and hopefully they'll stick around. But, yeah. Let me know what you think about the film, by the way. I saw the trailer. It came out in December. Let me know what you think of that. I think it looks quite promising. I'm really, really hoping for a great adaptation. I really think it looks quite good. Some aspects do have me a little wary, but I'm really holding out for a good film because I want it to be successful, and I really hope they're able to do the rest of the original Alita series because it would look so good on film. Like, as you can see here, the action is very intense, and there's just so many stunning moments in this series. And Alita, as a character, she's got some great characterization, and she undergoes many, many changes. Every arc in the manga is very distinct from the next, and Alita grows and changes as the series progresses, and it's just a really wonderful journey. So, yeah. That's all of the new manga I have purchased since last time. I know it's not too many. I did buy all these in one go. I splurged a bit. I thought, you know, I want to catch up on this and that, so I did. And I had to get the new edition of Alita. It's the only manga I own twice, but completely worth it. This new edition by Kodansha is really good. And I'm really pleased with the size as well. I had no idea it was going to be that big, but it looks great. So, yep, sorry I don't have any more things to show you guys, but that'll be it for today. And I just want to say, if you do want to hear from me on a bit of a more frequent basis, I did start a podcast with my good friend Curtis. We mainly chat about film, and I go on a lot about Japanese and South Korean cinema, if you're at all interested in that. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out and hear from me a bit more. I know these videos are a bit infrequent. I'm sorry about that. I don't buy manga too often these days. I still love it and I still read it. So I'll still continue to do these videos, but sorry about, you know, my frequency isn't very frequent. Anyway, thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.